Rampage.
Hey guys, this is Wisper, coming at you again with another IO commentary video. I got a comment recently on one of my more recent commentary videos saying, would it be possible for you to post tough IO games instead, or even close losses? It would be cool to see your evaluation. And if there's one thing I can call this game, it is tough. This is not going to be, I mean, you guys know from seeing the image that before the video, the thumbnail on the video, but you know this isn't a game where I get a ton of kills. This is not a game where, you know, I go mid and do 20-0. This game is hard for several reasons, mostly having to do with how shit my team is. Not just as bad players, but more so as bad humans. I've put the kill, death, assist counter in the top left. You guys can keep an eye on that as the game progresses. And I think by about 10 minutes into this game, every single player on my team was muted. And that's how I was able to put my head down and focus on through. But I've unmute everyone for the replay, so you guys can see just how immense people are talking in this game. A lot of it is in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. And not a lot of it is positive. That was English. All you guys will be able to see is the global chat. But you guys, there's so much party chat going on, and bullshitting and aggression and micromanaging and really tough stuff. A lot of bad players making really poor decisions and just not giving a shit. I'd already played with this Venomancer in another game, and I knew he was bad. I didn't know how bad. You guys will see for yourself. But I thought this would be a really interesting game to sort of... I want to provide commentary on what's going on, and I want to keep that, you know, up to date, up to the minute of what's happening in the game. But I also want to sort of touch on negativity in Dota and how to respond to this. And the reality is that, getting a little bit personal here, I'm no expert. Anyone who actually plays with me and knows me knows that I don't handle the stress of this game very well. I myself am a relatively controlling person in real life, and I think there's this logical disconnect for me where I see players killing themselves over and over, buying the wrong items, doing the wrong things, and part of me goes, well, I wouldn't do that. How are they so blind as to do that? And I think being able to control and ultimately put away that instinct is how I think it's the major thing that's keeping me from becoming a high-level player, is being able to control my emotions surrounding other people, other players in the game. We can talk more about that later as a little confession from me to you guys, but here I'm supporting safe lane with this sniper. Legion Commander is diving us here because the creep wave is so heavily pushed. He's pushing with his Q, which is actually quite nice for us because it gives us a little bit more stability. Free farm in our lane if it's back behind our tower. I do not like supporting sniper. Not the specific sniper, any sniper. IO and sniper are both weak heroes. Neither of us are very tanky. Note that mid won the first blood and Invoker bought back at minute 3. We'll keep that in mind for later, just pointing that out now. Sniper IO is a rough combination. It's best to have a tanky hero who can absorb a lot of damage that you can obviously tether and heal during the fight or just before and after the fight, but in terms of tankiness, Sniper doesn't give you much to work with. He's a hero who can get flashed down pretty quickly. Admittedly, if I started with bottle build instead of soul ring build, maybe things would have been a touch easier, but it's the build that I'm personally more comfortable with. I'm able to tether and salve here, and in my last game, my last commentary video where I was with Pudge, I talked about how important it was to start with opening salves on IO, and this is a really great example of why. If Sniper and I both had 20% HP, Legion Commander would win this lane. You know, some really well-placed Qs would kill one or both of us, and that would be the lane lost. Yeah, thanks, Veno. But thankfully for us, one tether, one salve, both of us are back to full health, and Legion Commander's the one at 20%. And that really gives us priority in this lane to have a lot more freedom. Freedom to free farm, freedom to play a little bit safer. We don't have to be so nervous, and we can focus on the things that we need to be doing, denying creeps, getting last hits, etc. I have decided to build Soul Ring build here, because originally I thought I was going to be laning with Veno. Being able to keep Veno up on mana is really nice. I mean, it works really synergistically with a lot of the other players on the team. Storm Spirit, Necro, Veno, etc. Here you can see, you just saw, Necro is not winning his lane. He's barely even playing it. The tower's being attacked really aggressively, and he's not even trying to deal with it. So I'm so focused on it that I actually start getting hit in lane and don't even realize. But yeah, this is where I think my personal frustrations begin. You can see me pinging Necro here, going, "Come on, dude! You need to do something. You need to at least be by your tower, pulling creeps back, in order to deal with this." Here again, we see this Legion Commander is getting balls. He's level 5. I'm 3, and Sniper is 4. He doesn't have duel yet, but he decides to dive in regardless. And I'm able to pop my Mango, another great reason to carry Mango, that 100 extra mana. Can obviously give somebody else 150, but it's really fantastic for those moments where if you have mana right now, you can get that kill. And that is a really lucky break for us in this lane. He overcommits to the dive, and I'm able to pop my Mango, which secures the kill, and affords me the ability to buy myself a new Mango, so I can build up Soul Ring. I also buy the Courier here as well, which I believe is trying to be stolen by Storm Spirit. And I go a little click fest and even run back for the Courier to make sure that I can get it, because I really need Soul Ring to function. Without it, I have no mana, and with no mana, I have no spirits, and with no spirits, I have no damage. Especially against a Legion Commander who I'm pretty sure has Poor Man's Shield by now, which makes a lot of my right clicks basically worthless. Yeah, next item is going to be Tranquil Boots, being able to keep my health up from the Soul Ring damage. As you see, I just took some Soul Ring damage there, but also to keep Sniper up, because as soon as Legion Commander hits 6, which should be very soon, I'm very nervous about how this lane is going to play out. You know, one duel, see how powerful that Q is? You know, Sniper's not thinking about it. Where to stand, and I'm down to 1 tango. I had to give 1 to middle, so I'm already running one tango down. We already burned 1 salve, and I'm just getting nervous. Tranquil Boots is going to help with that health regen quite a bit, and he's diving again. Now he does have level 6. This is where the second salve becomes incredibly important. He tries to duel me for some reason. I think if he had gone for the Sniper, it would have been way more effective. I think he was mad that I got the kill on him. So he sort of outplays himself there and tries to go for me instead of Sniper. If I had the cooldown, I would have loved to kill this guy, but unfortunately, between the fact that we have no creeps up there, and it was an overextended dive. If I had followed that up all the way, it would have been very, very risky. I don't know what other heroes are there, etc. As you can see, the rest of the game is not going very well. Veno has decided to jungle in the amazing meta strat that is jungle fucking Venomancer for no goddamn reason. And he's 0-2 somehow. And Necro has all but given up on bottom lane, giving Weaver and Bloodseeker 2 kills. So things start to go from bad to worse for us. I'm stacking small camp here, with the idea being that I'm admittedly it's 9 minutes in the game. I should be doing this sooner, but I'm trying my hardest to not absorb XP from the Sniper in that moment. You know, I can back up and give him some free time, give me some free time. And of course, this is when Veno decides to enter the lane. I'm trying to tell Veno, you see me pinging him here, I'm trying to tell him, hey, you really need to go bottom. We don't need help top, we got top fine. You really need to go bottom. Necro's not winning his lane. Of course, he ignores me. Maybe even says something back to me. I think I had him muted by this point, but I think I decide, well, if Venomancer's gonna be top and Sniper's gonna be there, I don't want to deal with that shit anymore. I'm gonna get myself out. He's sitting at half health at level 5 against a Legion commander who like has duel, like waiting. He's waiting to duel someone. It's just the stuff that other people don't see, man. It's crazy. And I decide to try and help Middle. Middle is the best player in our team right now. He's 3 kills and 3 deaths. It's Storm Spirit. Against Invoker, who is losing conveniently. It seems to be the only lane that we've won so far. Bottom tower is gone. Necro's nowhere near it. Or if he is, he just keeps on feeding. Yeah, you guys see what I mean now, right? When I say this game is complex, I wasn't kidding. So yeah, you can see all the chat going on is just really unnecessary. We're able to make a play onto Ogre here, and this is the point in the match where I kind of decide, okay, Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit's the man I can count on right now. I don't necessarily like him. I don't understand a lot of what he's saying because it's in Spanish, but I mentioned this in another commentary video as well. A big part of playing IO is to understand the players on the team that are worth dying for. And at this point, I've decided Storm Spirit's my guy. Storm Spirit is the only player right now who means anything to me. Veno is shit. Necro lost his lane. Sniper is fine at best. Like, it really is Storm Spirit. And even here, I'm doubting myself, going, "Oh God, did I back the wrong player? Is he about to die?" Sure enough, he makes it out. I'm really far behind in my items right now. I'm not happy with where I am in the game. It's 12 minutes in. I have no kills. I have two assists. And I would like to be beginning work on my earn at like the 10-minute mark, and it's 12 minutes and I don't even have my stick, which I normally buy before earn, and this is stressing me out. I'm not level 7. I haven't done anything successfully. You know, I've gotten some saves off on Sniper, but no good relocate ganks. Nothing of the sort, and just trying to keep myself in the game here. I go for the tome. I always love the tome on IO. Great item because your talents are so important on IO and so fantastic. I mean, having level 7 hitting level 7 on IO to have level 4 spirits, maximizing the spirits damage is incredibly important for your damage output and to be able to compete with like other players. So getting the tome at level 10 at minute 10 is always really important. Not as important as Tranquil boots, but normally Tranquil boots are built by then. But you guys see the wreck of a game I'm playing with here. So I think a lot of this game you're going to see me following around the Storm Spirit, because Storm Spirit is the one who I can count on. Here I go to bottom lane because no one's covering it, and I'm not super nervous about Legion Commander. I've seen him make mistakes. It's quite literally everyone else on their other team that I'm concerned about. Necro actually lands an ultimate, which is fantastic. He's able to get the Weaver and get a lot of gold out of it, stop his 6-win streak. But everything else is quite sketchy. Here I bring Necro out because I don't want to get ganked by this Legion Commander when I return. I think a 5k player would have charged the tower as I returned and dueled me as soon as I showed up. So on the off chance that happened, one, I took I took Necro out of a fight he would have definitely lost, which was mid, and then he would have been able to help me stay alive if I was dueled upon my return. And yeah, sure enough, they're playing aggressively enough and well enough that they can charge us this early. I feel like we're going in because I don't even know why. I think at this point I wasn't thinking properly. I thought people were behind me and they weren't. And you can see me lash out in the chat. This is what I'm talking about earlier. I do not deal well with the stress of having to play with teams that just have no effing clue with what they're doing. Right now we're 12-6. Venomancer is 0-4. Necro has completely shit the bed on bottom lane. We've lost all our T1 towers while only taking one of theirs. Thankfully, not only is that my only death, it's my only outburst of the game. I think at this point I go into the chat, I mute everyone, and there are definitely moments when I play Dota where I just decide, okay, put your head down, focus, don't give a shit about anybody else. You play a good IO game, and whatever happens, happens. And that's definitely one of these moments where, you know, stick with Storm Spirit. He can do stuff. Everyone else is a complete waste of time. And even then, don't get emotionally involved. If he dies and kills himself, he dies and kills himself. So be it. I find as the healer of the group, as an IO player, it's much easier to heal people and to jump towards people and make good plays to save people if you don't hate their guts. And as a result, being able to mute the team when the team is a dick, that definitely helps in the decision-making process. I don't hate Sniper, so I'm much more likely to want to jump to save him as compared to, you know, other players. And again, keeping people mute helps in that endeavor. But yeah, I'm really far behind, and I realize I'm far behind. I need to start playing selfish IO. I need gold. I need to get my items together. It is 16 minutes in the game. I do not have Urn of Shadows. That is goddamn unacceptable. So you can see me here. I'm doing what I can with my spirits to keep my gold up. I even checked the Ancients there. If they were... I wish I knew what the Ancients were called by name, but if they were the purple Ancients, I would have tried to kill them as well. I see a team fight breaking out here that I'm trying to help with. Necro is about to get dueled, and I pull him out because, let's face it, if Necro gets dueled, Necro's gonna die. Not because Necro's died to Legion commanders, but this Necro will die to this Legion commander. And you can see me bring him back into the fight because I'm kind of mad at him at this point that he's done so poorly, and I'm not gonna sacrifice myself for this Necro. I'm gonna have more game impact than this Necro is. I've convinced myself, and I'm not gonna die to save him. If it was a Storm Spirit, it'd be a different story. Sure enough, Darling Storm Spirit makes some plays, and I go, okay, pal, you want to go in? Let's go in. He's able to get some kills. In retrospect, in this team fight, I don't think coming up... I walk a long way around our fountain, with the idea being that that's where Invoker was going to run to. I think it was a little bit unnecessary. I could have just ran right behind him like Storm Spirit was, but it ends up working out. I get a double kill. I get a lot of gold in that fight. My items are finally starting to pour in. Urn is done. I buy... I'm working towards Glimmer Cape now in order to get myself out of fights, stay invisible, drop aggro. It gives magic damage resistance, which is going to be nice against Invoker and Ogre, and, you know, several other abilities from Legion and Bloodseeker. And, again, going back to farm gold, I don't feel comfortable in lanes. They have a really gank-heavy team at this point. If Weaver gets a good run at me, I'm dead. If Invoker jumps me, I'm basically dead. If Legion Commander duels me, I'm definitely dead. And I don't even have a teleport to get out of Bloodseeker's ultimate. So I feel the only safe thing I can do right now is to make sure that I'm farming where I'm less likely to be ganked. Here we decide to try and push the end of mid. There's mids down to about their mid towers are down to about 15% health. And the one nice thing Necro has done is he's built a mechanism. Again, not the right meta to be doing that, but in this specific game it works out really well. I, for some reason, think that I'm ballsy enough to chase down this Weaver, and as I'm running uphill I can see that I'm not going to win that fight, and I relocate out, with the thought process being that the rest of my team can follow up to kill him. Of course they don't. But I'm able to absorb a Bloodseeker ultimate as well, which is fine by me, because I'm about to get out with relocate anyway. I think this pause where I just sit there for several seconds is me just insulting Venomancer, because he's just so terrible, and I know he's terrible. Again, guys, I'm no saint. Like, again, like, really seriously, people who play with me know this is an area that I am nowhere near an expert on, and I think making this video is kind of a cathartic look at, this is the shit that I do, I need to get better at it. I'm able to put some vision up that catches out the Legion commander, and the Storm Spirit is able to make a play. Good old Storm Spirit. You're going to be the reason we can do anything in this game. And people are able to get behind us. I see a Ogre, and I believe a Weaver is back there as well. Trying really desperately to keep this sniper alive. I don't think he understands the mechanics of trying to use Shadow Amulet in the middle of a fight when they have a Bloodseeker. This is what I mean, guys. This is what I mean. But I'm trying my darndest. I think that wand that I popped on him, on top of the mechanism that Necro popped, probably gave him almost his whole health bar back. Yeah, to no avail. Veno dies again. Veno is now 0-8. Sniper is 1-4. Necro is 2-3. Quite literally, it is me and Storm Spirit holding this game together now. Sorry, did I say Necro was 2-3? I meant 2-4. Yeah, putting your head down, and you can see me. Like, I'm not trying to stick with people. Storm Spirit's close by. I think that was almost a coincidence. But I'm just trying to farm at this point. I know that I cannot be effective in this game if I don't have the right item set up, and that's what I'm going for. Storm Spirit gets ganked. He had 50% HP and even less mana. And I'm happy to take him out of the fight because I know that I have I have Glimmer Cape waiting for me on the way back, and I'm able to take him back, pop Glimmer Cape, and return in safety without getting murdered, essentially. Yeah. Another thing you guys can see here, Soul Ring is really effective for Storm Spirits. They really enjoy that big mana boost. And especially once you hit level 15, it's like even nicer. Once you tether to them, it's like they have 3 Yule Sectors in their inventory from that +10 mana talent that comes at level 15. And we're able to make some plays here. Ogre, we're going to use Ogre for some farm. That's fine by us. Weaver is still hitting me, and this is where the beauty of Glimmer Cape comes in. They already have Dust. Like, I thought I would be able to get away with it, but because Sniper is carrying Shadow Amulet and blatantly used it in front of them 5 minutes ago. See, Venomancer doesn't even understand why that they would buy Dust against us, because this is how little he pays attention. 2 of our players have Invis, and the Weaver was definitely the highest MMR player in this game. This is a ranked game, by the way. This is all happening in ranked. I think that's one of the reasons I'm so persistent about it. There's MMR on the line. But, yeah, I'm able to back to bottom lane, get the Tome, keep my push towards level 15, where I get the mana talent, and get some gold in the process. Here, I think they and I are trying to decide if a team fight is about to break out at middle. Snipers, I watched this replay twice, and both times I thought Sniper had a Shadow Amulet, but he actually had Shadow Blade. He had the entire Shadow Blade, and yet decided not to walk behind the tower while invis, and I only realized that just now. This is the team that I'm playing with, guys. Really want to highlight that to you. But I can see that I've chosen the right hero in Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit is able to split push and get down their T2 while they take our mid T2, which is not the best thing, but it's a nice trade. I'm happy to make that work, and I was even considering to relocate bottom in order to help him finish the tower off if he needed it, but it wasn't necessary. Yeah, you can see all the chat flying in the all chat here, none of which I can read. If anyone in my audience speaks Spanish and can read any good clips, you just let me know. Feel free to write them in a comment, and I'll get a big kick out of them. I promise. I almost at level 15. And then at 15 you get the plus 10 mana talent, which kind of makes Soul Ring obsolete. So I know I'm about to hit 15, so I sell my Soul Ring and I go for Solar Crest. The idea behind Solar Crest is that it's a nice bunch of armor that is going to be able to keep me alive in situations where Glimmer caping is not going to work. The major thought process being if I'm dueled. If I'm dueled by Legion Commander, the evasion and the armor is going to keep me alive for that duel. If I Glimmer cape, it does nothing. Especially because I'm taunted, I think is the technical term for when you're hit by Legion Commander ult. Because I'm taunted, I'm still fighting, and because I'm fighting, I'm not going to go invis, even if I Glimmer cape in the moment before he ults me. It can also be used offensively. It's one of the things I love about Solar Crest, to be able to place it onto somebody else, especially in this game, as it provides additional accuracy, 35% accuracy against somebody. And I'm relatively sure that Bloodseeker, who's been fed this game by offlane, is going to build a Radiance. And Radiance provides a 17% evasion for that attacker. Being able to place Solar Crest on him negates that. And we can see what I'm talking about here. The armor that came from my Medallion of Courage was just enough to keep me alive so that my team could respond to that duel, and I end up winning. I end up getting 14 duel damage out of that, which is a nice bonus. More so just to piss off the other team and to piss off Legion Commander than to actually make me a more effective killing machine. And you can see me here, a team fight is breaking out, and I'm desperately running to the side shop to finish off my Solar Crest before jumping in. Here, I think that we can make some work onto this Ogre. Ogre's been pretty weak for the game. We've gotten some kills on him. And I bring the first player that I see, which is Necro. Obviously, it doesn't really work out, but we do spot where the Weaver is, and Weaver's behind us. We know Ogre's TP'd back, so we're actually able to make some plays here onto mid. Oh, sure enough, Storm Spirit has finished Orchid by now, and Weaver has not gone for Lincolns. So he's able to make a fantastic play whereby he kills Weaver. This is a part of the game that makes me laugh. Invoker has just walked to tower and drop all of his items and wants the game to end. And this reminds me of something that Wagamama says, who's a really well-known Twitch streamer, which I like to watch. I hadn't heard him say this, but a Twitch commenter who watches me play Twitch called El Diablo said this to me, which is said by Waga, which is you see 100% of your team's errors, and at best you see 60% of the other team's errors. And if you remember at the 3-minute mark, when Invoker died and bought back, that should have been a really big red flag that he's not a good player, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's going to be a weak link in their team. And sure enough, what's his score? He's 1-5, and he's so frustrated by his team, even though he's winning by 7 kills. We didn't even get down the T3 in that push, and he's already given up in a ranked game. I think the reason I'm highlighting this is to sort of show that the rage goes both ways. As no matter as frustrated as you are on your team with your shitty team's shitty gameplay, the other team is going to have shitty players with shitty gameplay that you just don't see. And here we're able to make a great play onto Bloodseeker using the Solar Crest that I talked about earlier. I think I might have been able to leave Storm Spirit there in order to have him finish the kill onto Ogre, but I didn't want to take any risks. Storm Spirit is now the crux of our team. If he dies and screws up a couple times, we lose, like 100%. Veno is still 0-10, Sniper is still 1-6. Necro has been able to make some plays, but not enough. It's really on Storm at this point to be good, and I want to make sure when you're relocating like that, you have to make split-second decisions, and I would always choose that the #1 player on the team stay alive, then he die and, stay alive and miss a kill, than to get an extra kill and die in the process. Again, we have a nice little team fight there. I try to use Solar Crest on the guy who's being dueled, which was Veno, and it stops Legion Commander from being able to win the duel, which is nice. He doesn't get the bonus damage, but it still results in his death, which at this point I have very little moral qualms about. So yeah, this fucking guy. But somehow, some way, we are winning this game. I think they were ahead by 13 or 14 kills at one point. We're able to come back and play like this. I tried so very hard to tether to that kid. My tether was on cooldown. Well, it wasn't on cooldown, it was being used. I was tethered to somebody else, and I wasn't able to get there fast enough. I don't believe I Solar Crested. I think I should have used it defensively on Storm Spirit to give him the evasion and armor to survive the fight. That's something I should be a lot quicker on, is blowing that in order to keep a very important player alive. Here I get ganked and dusted by Necro. I'm screwing up all the names this game. I picked up the gem that I believe Storm Spirit dropped, and I drop it back in the base before going back with my relocate. Trying to heal up Venomancer here a little bit, because it is quite literally just a matter of time until he dies again. I want to make that time a little bit longer if I can. And yeah, good old Storm Spirit making plays. And I'm happy to come in, and I definitely want to heal him up as quickly as possible. The stronger Storm Spirit's a great hero for that, for snowballing into the enemy team. I believe he has Bloodthorn at this point, and he's able to catch out players and shut them down with his crits. On top of me coming in to silence, or not to silence, to heal and to do additional magic damage. It's working out pretty well. Really, seriously, like, how this game ended up the way that it did is just beyond me. Quite literally, it's Storm Spirit. If it was not for Storm Spirit, this game would be over. Necro has managed to pull out 5-5, which is insane. I think his ultimate is the reason for that, and borderline nothing else. Sniper is still useless. Veno is still useless. And somehow we've been able to do it. And you guys can just see in the chat now, people are losing their goddamn minds. Like, everyone is so angry at everybody. Report, Invoker, Veno is talking shit, Storm Spirit is talking shit. It's chaos. So I don't think I've been able to solve any major problems in this game. I don't think I have any great insight. But just to provide a little bit of idea of the way I try and deal with these things. When your team is shit, and you just need to focus and get it done because MMR is on the line, and it needs to be won. You know, you can do what Invoker did and drop your items and give up. That works if you just want to let it go. But then again, you don't get to go 7-1 and have double plays if you do that. So it's a choice you have to make to block out the toxicity. And like I said before, I'm not perfect. I was toxic too. Toxic, you know, years ago when I was playing, I was toxic in this game. When I yell at, you know, my team sucks, report everyone, they're all retards, you know. But it's what you do after that matters. It's the way that you decide to play once you've had your little baby outburst. How do you want to man up and win the game? How do you want to man up and play the game? Do you want to win it? Do you want to lose it? Do you want to give up? And this is definitely a game where I put my head down and said, let's have a good-ass IO game and see how things go. I can't promise any wins. We're just going to try and make it work. And sure enough, we do. So, I'm going to have to repeat one more time. I don't know how the hell we won this game, but sure enough, we did. And yeah, I think it's definitely something I'm going to have to work on in the future. As a personal, like just talking about Wisper here, I need to focus on the way that I deal with my emotions in Dota. And, you know, if you go and you watch 7K players, Wagamama, Monkeys Forever, Bloody Nine, you know, people who I watch on Twitch, they are the calmest people in the world. And that's who I channel when I go into games like this, is how can I be as calm as Wagga? How can I be as laid back as Monkeys? Like, your team is shit, you're down 20 kills, and they're able to keep it together and come back. And I think there's a correlation there. I think it's more so than just random. I think you stay calm, you keep your emotions in check, you focus on a good-ass game, and you're able to pull it through. And as we can see here, final score screen, not only do I have higher GPM than everyone on my team except for Storm Spirit, I have higher GPM than everyone on the enemy team, with the exception of Bloodseeker, who I all but basically tie. So I guess if you want to walk away from this video with one thing educational, keep your cool, keep it together, focus on having a good game, and whatever happens, happens. I hope we've all learned something here today. I know I certainly have, which is if you have Shadow Blade, walk the fuck away. Damn it, Sniper, you bastard. Alright, I'm just kidding. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys soon. Bye.